Welcome back to Agents Confidential. My name is Yana, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different. So, one of the unexpected benefits of hosting this podcast, specifically with the interviews that we've been doing, is getting a front row seat to some pretty incredible people in the industry. We've interviewed top performing agents, agency owners, carrier reps, industry leaders, etc. And while all of their businesses look different, their personalities are different, and their paths to insurance, of course, are different. Notice something really interesting, and that's the same lessons keep coming up. Not just once or twice, but over and over again. So today I wanted to share 7 lessons that have come up again and again with some of our guests, because I think that these lessons apply whether you've been in the industry 30 days or 30 years. Let's get into it. So lesson number 1 is put clients first. This one comes from Frank Fuss, of course, and one of my favorite pieces of advice that we heard was, if you focus on the dollar, the money will come, but it will be short-lived. And if you focus on the client, money becomes a side effect. That idea has shown up repeatedly for us. The agents who are building long-lasting businesses are not constantly asking, how much commission can I make? They're asking what's best for the client. And ironically, those are often the agents who end up making the most money, because trust compounds over time. People can tell when they're being sold, and they can tell when they're being served. Quick takeaway from all of this is the fastest way to grow your business is to stop focusing on growth and to start focus on helping people. All right, and lesson number 2, consistency beats talent. We've heard this from multiple guests, and one thing I've noticed is that the most successful people rarely talk about a breakthrough moment. They don't talk about some magic script, some secret lead source, some silver bullet. Instead, they talk about doing the basics repeatedly, which is making calls, following up, learning, improving. Brian Platte often talks about the power of consistency. Chris Farmer has talked about showing up every day, day after day, and Andrew Saul actually touched on this too. The advice here is to just keep showing up. That's it. Success is often less about talent and more about persistence, especially in this industry. So you don't need to be extraordinary every day. You just need to be consistent. Lesson number 3 is relationships are the real asset. This might be the biggest theme that I've heard. Products change, carriers change, regulations change, compensation changes, but relationships remain. When I think about the people who have built businesses that last, they've all invested heavily in relationships. Not transactions, but relationships, clients, referral partners, other agents, carrier reps, team members. Everything in this industry moves faster when people trust you, and that trust is going to take time. Your network is the result of years of doing what you said you were going to do. Lesson number 4, adaptability wins. This came on repeatedly from multiple different guests, but if you've worked in Medicare for more than 5 minutes, you know that things change constantly. Lately, those changes seem to be happening even faster. One thing that Andrew Saul talked about in one of our conversations was how dramatically the Medicare landscape is evolving. He discussed things like Medicare supplement rate pressure, fraud concerns, birthday rules, new product innovation. The lesson really isn't about Medicare. The lesson was the people who thrive aren't the people fighting change. They're the people learning how to navigate it. Every major shift creates winners and losers, and the winners are usually those people that are willing to learn. Adaptability is becoming one of the most valuable skills an agent can have. Lesson number 5, systems create freedom. This is something I've heard from agency owners again and again. At some point, you cannot scale your effort anymore. You have to scale process. Top producers don't keep everything in their heads. They're going to document, they automate, they build repeatable systems. And because of that, they can serve more clients while creating better experiences. Andrew Saul is a perfect example of this. He serves thousands of agents, and that's not possible through memory alone. It's only possible through systems. So if your business depends entirely on you remembering things, you've built a job, not a scalable business. Lesson number 6 is invest in yourself. Nearly everyone has talked about this. One thing I admire about our guests is how committed they are to growth. They attend conferences, read books, listen to podcasts, etc. Andrew Saul talked about constantly learning and staying immersed in what's happening in the industry. And the best agents aren't viewing learning as something that they did when they got licensed. they view it as a part of their job description, and your business grows at the same pace that you do. Lesson number 7, probably the most important one, is play the long game. This one ties everything together. The most successful people we've interviewed are incredibly patient. They understand that relationships take time, trust takes time, reputation takes time, success takes time. Nobody just wakes up one day with a thriving agency. Those things are built one conversation, one client, and 1 year at a time. Honestly, I think this one is becoming more important than ever. In a world full of shortcuts, the long game is becoming the competitive advantage. Trust is going to compound just like money. The sooner you start investing in it, the bigger the payoff. And after all of these conversations that we've had, the thing that stands out to me the most is success in this industry really isn't about insurance. It's about serving people, building trust, staying adaptable, creating systems, investing in yourself, and showing up consistently. Products are going to change. Regulations are going to change. This industry is going to continue to evolve. But those principles seem to hold true no matter what's happening around us. And if there's one thing that I've learned from hosting this podcast is that the people who build great businesses are not creating shortcuts. They're doing the fundamentals exponentially well for a long time. So I hope that this episode just is a little bit of a break from our longer interviews and a little bit of a recap from the first half of this year. So, yeah, thanks for listening to Agents Confidential, and we'll see you next time.